This week, the House is expected to vote on the Right to Contraception Act, a bill that would protect access to birth control. This comes over fears another Supreme Court ruling similar to the one which struck down Roe versus Wade could put those rights at risk. Now, the birth control measure is expected to pass in the House, but it is unclear if it will pass in the Senate. Democrats would need at least 10 Republican votes to beat a filibuster.
Congresswoman Schakowsky is one of 16 members of Congress arrested during an abortion protest outside the Supreme Court.
And she is joining us this morning to talk about the protest and the arrest. Good morning, Congresswoman.
Good morning.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us this morning, especially after everything yesterday. Did you expect to get arrested when you decided to join the protest? And what kind of charge, if any, are you facing?
Well, yes, I have made a decision that if, push came to shove, that I was more than willing to get arrested to protest taking away abortion rights. So the charge was we sat down in front of the Supreme Court. We are obstructing the travel, the road going through, and so yes, we. We're arrested. We can pay a fine, $50, and it'll be on the record. But I learned about civil disobedience from my friend John Lewis, that if you want to make real change, you're going to have to do whatever it takes. And this is one of the things that I was proud to do, because imagine taking away a right that has been for women to control our own bodies for the last 50 years. And now we're going to vote, as you pointed out, on contraception. Let's see if there are those who would say that the right to contraception is not there for Americans. It's outrageous.
Yeah, contraception on the mind of many, especially on social media. Also on social media, a lot of talk about what can Congress actually do about abortion access? The more tweets I read, the more I realize a lot of people didn't pay attention in civics class. But in reality, what can Congress do, especially considering how the Senate is split so closely?
Well, the good news is the House did pass the Women's Health Protection Act, which codifies Roe v. Wade. And we also passed a bill that said that people can travel between the states in this United States of America to get an abortion. Another thing that's just so unbelievable, that there are states now that are saying women cannot cross state lines. Whoever heard of that? We have in the Constitution the right to be able to travel. And so, we want to challenge the Senate to do the same. But in the meantime, we're going to do everything we can to make real the chant that we had was, we are not going back.
So Justice Thomas also said he thought the court should revisit same-sex marriage. And then yesterday, the House passed that bill to enshrine the right into law. So a lot of people are wondering, why didn't Democrats do the same for abortion access in the past when they've held big majorities in the House and Senate? And the overturning of Roe v. Wade, people were planning for it forever, including the state of Illinois, which made sure that that right could not be taken away here. Why wasn't that done before?
So as soon as we had a pro-choice majority in the House of Representatives, we did pass a bill. We passed the same law last September that we passed last Friday to say that Roe v. Wade and the right to abortion is the law of the land. We didn't have the majority, and as soon as we did everything we can to pass the law. So we've been fighting this for a long time, but I think a lot of Americans didn't think this would really happen. Now we know, and we're seeing a tsunami of opposition, not just Democrats, but Republicans and independents, and all people who feel that this basic right that we can control our own bodies, our own destiny, make these decisions that politicians should not be making.
All right. Thank you, Representative Jan Schakowsky, for joining us this morning and talking about this very controversial issue. But you talked about the long fight that's already been, and it doesn't seem like it's over by far. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.